VMware and NetApp jointly announced a solution for enterprise using public cloud to run conventional virtualized workloads. VMware Cloud on AWS allows customers to use Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP as a data store option to vSAN. NetApp explored this at the Tech Field Day Extra session that happened this week, and that video has been posted now. What was your take on it, Mr. Storage?
It's really interesting, Tom, because VMware is rapidly pivoting to public cloud, as we will talk about here in a moment. But one of the challenges for VMware is that they still don't have a complete data center solution. And one of the things that they're really missing is enterprise storage, and in fact, decoupled enterprise storage. Now, don't get me wrong, vSAN is great, and I love what AWS, I love what VMware was able to do with it. Boy, a little Freudian slip there. I love what VMware was able to do with it because they are able to use vSAN in AWS along with in Azure and Google Cloud and build a fully functional enterprise virtual data center. But the problem is that vSAN is very tightly coupled to all the rest of the infrastructure for the server, the compute, the memory, capacity, et cetera, on AWS instances. And what that means is that you can't really scale storage separately from server workloads. So if you need a lot of storage, you have to really, really overbuy in Amazon AWS. And VMware has no answer for that because essentially that's just how vSAN works. Now they have an answer for that. And essentially, what they've done is they've picked probably the premier enterprise cloud storage platform, which is what's mind bogglingly known as Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP. And what that is essentially it's a NetApp storage array that lives natively in the cloud. And NetApp offers the same thing in Azure and in Google Cloud. But in Amazon, it's run a little bit differently. And that's why this story is interesting. And that's sort of the weird angle on this. So in Amazon, NetApp is actually running FSx for NetApp ONTAP inside the VMware environment. And VMware is the one that's managing it. At least that's my understanding of how this thing works. And what that means is not a lot to customers. It just freaking works. But what it means overall as a solution is that customers can now deploy enterprise workloads on VMware running in Amazon AWS just like they would anywhere with the same enterprise grade storage technology that can scale independently of the workloads. And they can then integrate that NetApp ONTAP environment with the one that's running on premises and do all sorts of really cool stuff. So essentially, you have a real full featured enterprise storage environment that works perfectly with VMware vSphere running in AWS. And you can do the same thing in Azure and you can do the same thing in Google Cloud. And of course, you can do the same thing on premises. And that's a really powerful combination. So this is actually a surprisingly exciting announcement, even if you don't care about storage, because of what it means for the future.